Hey everybody, it's Kerry with the week ahead, a little late. Um, I'm still in kind of a health struggle, but I wanted to show up because it looks like a really kind of big and dynamic week ahead. This is my third take. I just whatever the microphone, and then I forgot to press record. Anyway, so here we are. So basically, what's going on? We have today is Sunday the 15th, and we have the moon in Capricorn at the beginning of this day. It's the end of the day now, but hey, I'm getting there. So the moon's going to be moving up toward Mars as this day goes on. This is also a day called Shivaratri, if you know what that means. This is the Mahashivaratri, actually, so the big night of Shiva. And every month we have a Shivaratri, but this is the big one. So when the sun is in Aquarius and the moon is coming up toward that point. So the Krishna 14 every year. So if you wanted to celebrate something like that, even if you don't know, if you know what Shivaratri is, you know what to do. But if you're interested in like just taking the energy of this day, I recommend taking a little time to yourself tonight, sitting quietly, take a candle, light it up, and think about yourself as a singular consciousness, and then expand it into the universal consciousness. Feel that while you have this individual perception, that it's really part of the bigger universal perception. It's a good night to wind down, which is the words I picked for today. So I'm coming up with some keywords for each day that seemed to go over well last week. Tell me what you think about that, if it's useful. It doesn't take me that long to come up with them. So today we have the moon in Uttarashada, which is the nakshatra, at least the day starts out that way, that spans between Sagittarius and Capricorn. So this is the moon going into the zone I've been talking about for this year, because we have Rahu and Saturn next door to each other. That like 1 week per month, the moon's going to move through that zone, and it always feels a little like a lot. And so that is this week. So not only do we have this eclipse energy coming up, we still have that Mars and Saturn squeeze play going on in Aquarius, which is also getting this kind of herky-jerky, expansive growth energy from Jupiter in Gemini. So it just feels very destabilizing, to be quite honest. That's what the energy feels like to me. So wind down Sunday. Moving on. So Monday, the moon will start out in Shravan nakshatra. Shravan is symbol is an ear, and it's a very tender nakshatra, very sweet. And this will be the last day before the new moon. And my words for today are empty out. This is Monday, February 16th. Empty out. Finish those straggling things. Maybe don't think about big starts on today. You might feel a little raw yourself. New moon energy can be vulnerable and low. Like you just don't feel like you have a lot in your mind and body to work on. So let go of what needs to go. Tuesday the 17th. All right, this is the big day. And it's really early on the 17th. And it's this kind of new moon energy going to happen different times in different places. So this is a big eclipse when Rahu and Ketu align with the sun and moon. That's when we get an eclipse pairing. So this will be the first eclipse of a pair. We'll talk about the one in March coming up. At this point of sunrise in my location, the moon has already moved slightly past the sun. You know, the moment of the new moon, if you look at these charts with me, is that when the sun and moon are exactly at the same degree, and that's also when the eclipse would occur. So the visibility of this eclipse is very limited. It's southern hemisphere. Like if you're in Antarctica, you got it. You're going to see a really cool annular eclipse, which means the moon kind of goes right over the sun, and the sun's little fiery rays come around the edge. It's cool. Which is also brings me to the Chinese New Year, which is the 17th. It will be the year of the fire horse. I talk about that more in my annual predictions. I just managed to get that out yesterday. Not too late for the Chinese New Year. So anyway, that's Tuesday. This is Dhanishta, the moon in Dhanishta, which is the sun, moon, and Mars are actually all in that same nakshatra because Dhanishta goes across from Capricorn into Aquarius. Very Marsy energy with all of that, but it is the new moon. So it's not like we might want to, break out into huge projects, but we might be able to advance with careful courage. That's my words for Tuesday. Careful courage. So we're brave and we're looking and we're strategic, but we're not loose cannons. We're not just gonna like blaze out and do things recklessly. So, all right, now the moon is waxing. It's going through the zone on Wednesday. The moon is joining up in the, with Venus, Mercury, Rahu more than the sun and Mars. So it's kind of shifting. It's moving forward. Wednesday, we also have the Rahu has gone direct on this day. If you're tracking that with me, you can think of Rahu and Ketu as they're always moving in retrograde motion generally, except we have these few little days where they go direct. And to me, it's more like Rahu and Ketu going retrograde because it's opposite from what they're normally doing. So with that, I feel like we can do things with perhaps a little more deliberation and control, and maybe make good things out of what doesn't seem good. So Shatabishak Nakshatra is very Rahu-y. It's completely in Aquarius. Rahu is also there. And so this may be a little of a confusing day, but it would be good for flipping the script or turning things around. My words for today are initiate healing. Initiate healing. So if you've been in trouble, if you've been paying attention to what's going on in the world, maybe we can all do it together. This is the 18th of February. Okay, let's go to Thursday. This is Thursday, Friday is the Saturn-Neptune conjunction we've been hearing all about. So Saturn and Neptune don't come together all the time. They both move really slow, but Saturn moves faster. The last time they conjoined was in Sagittarius. I think that was 1989. And it was actually literally the day the Berlin Wall came down, because people took it down. So it's not just fell down. That alone, with this new moon solar eclipse happening in Aquarius at the beginning of the year of the fire horse, where things are supposed to move rapidly, tells me we might see some really big things happening this week as in the world. And if it happens in your life, I hope it's good. So this is Thursday the 19th, Purva Bhadra Nakshatra. So the moon is going to be right by Saturn and Neptune as they conjoin during these 2 days, which I think is really neat. And my words for Thursday are positive transformation. So when I think about Saturn and I think about Neptune in Pisces. It seems very watery, very oceanic. Neptune with his trident, much like Shiva. It's like a non-defined environment. It's the ocean. It's expansive. It's infinite. It's hard to know where to put your foot down in that kind of environment, where Saturn coming into play in that environment to me says, let's make structure. Let's set our foot down deliberately and say, I'm doing this. I'm going to create a structural anchor in an infinitely watery environment. So, that could be the thing for Thursday. This is positive transformation. Okay. Let's go to Friday. We're still seeing that Saturn Neptune very close. I mean, actually, this is technically the day. If you see 631 and 632 up there. So Western astrologers have been talking about this. I see this on Reels, that this is happening. It's happening in Western astrology. They just are saying it's happening right at the beginning of Aries, which could be amazing. But because I use the sidereal zodiac, it's still Pisces for me. So that's that. Uttarabhadra is where the moon will start the day, but then it quickly moves into Revati, which is the very last nakshatra of the zodiac, and we'll go all the way through there. So I'm feeling like this is a rooted completion day. We're getting things done, we're letting things go, but we're not letting go. We're rooted, right? We've staked our claim. Saturn's put his foot down, and we're finishing things up with the sense of we need to do that so we can move on. Okay, this is Saturday, the 21st of February. In my location, the moon will have moved to Ashwini Nakshatra. It will have crossed that big gap between Pisces and Aries and moving out of the zone of chaos that of the week. So it's kind of like by Saturday next, on the 21st, we might start to feel like, wow, a lot just happened, but I also am ready to move forward. My words for today are spiritual advancement. So with a deeply rooted sense of purpose and decision, we are taking steps forward. The moon is waxing. It's in the clear, in a sense, from all of the other energy of all those other planets. So that's the word for Saturday. And I do want to point out also, starting around Thursday. Okay, look at Mars. Mars at 2841. Mars is exalted in Capricorn. Exalted means the planet functions really well. Each of the planets has an exaltation sign, and specifically a degree. So 28 degrees means Mars is exalted. He's really doing his best work. So as we get to Saturday, Sunday next week, Mars is not only really strong, but he's also aspecting that moon in Aries. So it could feel like that careful courage that you did, and the healing that you initiated, and the positive transformations you made, and the rooted way of completing things really does help you spiritually advance as the next week comes on. So I just feel like big things could happen this week. In your life, in the big life, and just keep grounded. You can't control the big waves of the ocean. You can only navigate what you can and do things in your own way. So I hope these are helpful. Let me know what you think. Thanks for bearing with me, and take care of yourselves this week. All right, bye-bye.